Thank you. All right, everyone, welcome to the 7th Annual CU Succeed Summer Conference. My name is Angela Alton. I'm the Assistant Director of CU Succeed. We have Danny Martinez, who's the Director of CU Succeed. Laurel Dodds is the Director of Continuing and Professional Education and Initiatives. Did I get that right? She has a very long title, I always mess it up. We also have Kristen Kang, who is the Manager of CPE Programs, and Leslie Cummings, who's walking in right now, is our Program Coordinator. Out of the check-in table, Sharon Simmons and Jill Hutchinson, who are coordinators as well. I just wanted you to be able to put names to faces since you hear from most of us pretty frequently. I just have a couple announcements before we get started. We are doing a recording of this presentation here with our fancy yellow tape, so if you're in the vicinity, your voice might get picked up, just heads up. In your packet, your conference packet, there is a conference evaluation form that you can fill out at your leisure. There will be a drop-off box at the check-in. You can put that in at any point during the day. Feel free to also email us those responses if you would like. You can get CEU credits for your participation today. If you would like that, we ask you to send us an email because we will only be providing that documentation for those of you who ask for it. So you can either email CU Succeed or email Laurel Dodds directly, and we will send up a follow-up email next week that will have that information in it as well, so you don't need to necessarily remember it right now. After the session, we will be serving lunch across the hall. There are so many of us today that we're not all going to fit in that room. There are some additional tables on the patio and some additional tables outside to the west where you came in. So there is enough seating for everyone. We'll just might be a little more spread out. If you haven't checked in yet, please feel free to do so before lunch after we end here at the tables out there, where you will get your parking pass and your packet that has some materials we're going to cover in this session. Okay. First thing we're going to do is go over a brand new registration process. I know that we just recently changed this, and I know that this year registration was very painful. So we made some really exciting updates, and now it's going to be very, very easy. I'm going to run through a quick demonstration, which is going to take us maybe 5 minutes, and that's it. That's all we're going to have to do. No more multiple day processes, no more waiting for ID numbers. But because it's going to be so easy now, we really need to make sure that we are messaging what the students are doing when they fill out this form. This form will get them enrolled in the class. It will commit them to the grade that they get on this class on their permanent record. It will commit them for tuition if they have tuition. So because it's so easy now, we really want to make sure they know what they're getting. So let's start. We're going to go through the whole thing. It's going to be that quick and easy. Go to the internet. Go to Google. Type in CU Succeed. We are the first thing that pops up. Okay, from here, I would encourage all students and all parents to take a look at this website. It has a breakdown of what we are about, how this can affect their performance in the future, and how to get registered. So go to the Register Here tab. We have a couple of tips. Filling out this form is the only step you need to take to register. Once you fill out the form, you're going to be registered. You can use this one form to register for multiple classes. You will get an email confirmation that says which classes you are registered for. And if they decide they need to drop the class, they will need to still fill out the drop form and send that to us. They can't just drop it with you. This is the same as it's always been. They need to let us know, which they can come to this website to get that form. Okay, click on the button, CU Succeed Registration. Links to this form. We will quickly fill out some information. Of course, the asterisk fields are the fields that are required. have you participated in a CU Succeed or CU Denver credit program before? This is not a required field. If they have, click yes. It gives them a space to enter their student ID number. This is not required. If they don't have it, if they don't know it, please have them still let us know that they've taken a class. It will make actually registering them a lot easier because we're doing it for them on the back end. So if they say no, that's fine, we just move on. Country, if you choose United States, you move on. If you choose something else, it asks you about your residency status. Okay, address information, thanks Google. Your parent email address. We're asking everyone for a parent email address because we want this notification of your registering for class to go to their parents as well. If they don't have a parent email address, or their parents don't have email, that's fine. They can just re-enter their information here. Okay, criminal history. This has been a pain point for our students in the past, so we have simplified the process. Any non-violent offenses are being reviewed in-house, so they don't have to wait on committee and potentially miss the registration window like has happened in the past. So if they do have a history that they need to tell us about, they will fill in all their information here. They have an option to add another incident or just move on. If they don't, just click no, pop-up's not there. Okay, this is the best part, ready? Choose your high school. And then choose the subject you're taking. Only the subjects that are being offered in your high school are going to show here. So I'm taking a communications class. And then which class do we want to enroll in? Only the communications class that are at Abraham Lincoln are going to be displayed here. So it says what it is, the section number, and who's teaching it. Thanks, Lacey. So if we want to enroll in a second course, we click the button. And then you'll have the same options. So we'll choose English. We'll go, this we're still working on the, it's not totally done yet. We're taking a class with Sarah. And then a third course. You can enroll in up to 5 classes. If the students are taking a science class that has a lecture and lab class, you will only see one option. It'll say lecture and lab, so you don't have to fill out 2 forms like you did in the past. So hopefully that will decrease the instances of people signing up for one and not the other. Okay, then some ethnicity information, not required, they do not have to fill this out. And then a quick acknowledgement of, I understand that by submitting this form, I'm responsible for tuition and I have a permanent record with CU Denver. Our information, if anybody has questions, submit. And that's it. So they come to this page, says, thank you for registering, this is your high school, these are the classes you've enrolled for. So at this point, they're not actually registered, but their information has been sent to us, and at the end of every night, everyone who is registered for these courses will be uploaded into their course. So they will not immediately appear on your roster. This should be an overnight process. It can potentially take up to 2 days. So there will be that delay, but in terms of the students, they are done. The only reason they will need to do anything else is if they have a hold on their account and they didn't pay tuition from the prior semester, or they might have someone in the system who has similar information. The registrar's office just needs to clarify who they are. If that's the case, the registrar's office will email them to do that. So if they don't get anything from the registrar's office that says we need extra information from you, they are done. So it takes them to this screen. It also will send them an email. Email says the same thing as the submission screen we just saw. This will come from the CU Succeed email address. If they have any questions, they can just reply. It will come right to us and we can help them out. Now it says you'll be receiving an email in the next 3 days confirming your registration. That's so we can batch upload them in overnight. Once that happens, they will get another email. So again, it will have their name, where they're going, what they're enrolled for, some information about the drop deadline and how to do that if they need to, information about credit transferability. This email will not go to their parents, only the first one, because at this point they're enrolled and protected by CREPA, so we cannot share this information with their parents. information about tuition, unless you are at a school, unless they have selected a school that doesn't have tuition, then that tuition piece will not be there. This will only show up for people who do owe tuition. And again, if you have any questions, please contact us here. They can also reply to this email. And that's it. So hopefully this will really simplify things. Questions?
Is there any way you can get the parent's signature for release of information into the website?
No. we have tried. So we have links to the parent guardian consent form in both the emails, so they will have it there with them. It will still be in the brochures, which we're going to send out to everyone like we always do. It's still going to be on the website, but due to the information that we have to collect and electronic signature restrictions that we have without making them log in at this point, we can't do it. This is something we're working on and hope to do, but we're not there yet. Yeah.
I can't remember, was the country of origin and residency status a required field?
Yes. Yeah.
Any way to have the brochures electronically, because I always run out.
Yeah, we can put it on our website.
That
Absolutely.
would be awesome.
Mike?
Is there a link to their UCB access information in the email address and log in to their tuition?
So with this system, they do not need to access their portal. So they don't have to claim their account, they don't have to log in. For the tuition payment piece, all of our messaging says now you can pay by phone, you can mail in your check. If you would like to pay online, you have to claim your account, and this is how to do that. So we will send that information out. So they still can pay online, but they're gonna have to do that account claim piece that they no longer have to do for registration. Yeah,
Are these the students in Colorado Springs who take courses through UCCS?
Correct.
Program? Do they use the same student number, or is this a completely separate system?
any CU school that any student goes to, their CU student number will follow them. So UCCS, us, and Shoots, Boulder, all the same number. Yeah.
So, to order transcripts, do they have to then leave their account, or how does that work?
Nope, because the transcript ordering system is something completely separate from the student portal. So they will need their student ID number, which we email to them, as you can see right here. And then they go to the transcript ordering portal, create an account there, which is just what's your biodemo information and your student ID, and that's it. Yeah.
Did you say that now when students enroll for science classes, they're automatically also enrolled in the lab?
If you are offering both, they will be automatically enrolled in both. Because some science classes don't have the lab, so that won't work. Let me see if I can find one.
Well, I'm doing the class and the lab, but some students may not want to sign up for the lab, and they only want to sign up for the lecture portion, so.
Okay, that's something that I wouldn't recommend because they will need that lab credit for graduation requirements when they get on. Email me and let's chat about how to fix that problem, because we can go through the process of dropping them, or we can try to make a different situation for your classes specifically and make them do both. Okay? In the back.
Will they get a UC Denver email address, or do they only get it if they claim the account?
Nope, they automatically get a UC Denver email address. It, I believe, will be, this is the draft of this email. I believe it will be included on this email, but I will double check.
So they need to check their email like we were supposed to do this past year, or?
So we recommend that all of the students either check their email at UC Denver or forward it to an account that they do check. We as a program will email whatever they put on their application, but the university as a whole will send things like tuition reminders, we do that as well, and any other additional information to the UC Denver email address.
You answered it.
Okay. Yeah.
Can they submit that form more than one time if they don't know where to go?
Yep, absolutely. They can go in here and submit it for as many classes as they're in. They can submit them all at once, but if they're in a class and then later change their mind and want to add another class, that's fine. Okay, is that all we have for registration? Okay, I'm going to hand it over to Danny to go over some information about some new processes that we're going to have this year.
Okay, thank you, Angela. I have to say that we probably would not have gotten these changes made in the registration process had it not been for Angela. and assisted by Leslie. We were very, very good at making sure that our voices were heard in the whole process of creating this new system. And I think the IT people finally conceded that it was not going to be possible to put together an effective system to register our students who have some very unique needs. So the registrar very cooperatively stepped up to the plate and decided, let's make it easy for students, even though it's going to impose more of a burden on our office to now have to, in essence, manually register every student. But I think we're to the point now where we have a registration system that's going to work finally. I want to start out by thanking all of you for being here today. Today's attendance truly is a record. I think we have twice the number of people today than we've had in past conferences, so I want to thank you for that. And I also want to thank you for the amazingly successful 2017-2018 academic year. Despite the amazingly terrible experience many students had in trying to register, and we apologize for that, but I'm pretty confident that this year we will see a marked difference in the ability of students to register easily. The program experienced considerable growth in headcount, course sections, and enrollments this past year. We served a total of 6,822 students, compared with 6,117 last year, which is an increase of 11.5%. The number of course sections rose 12.1% from 643 to 721, while enrollments increased 12.3% from 10,358 to 11,629. And we're looking forward to another year like the year that just ended. We have a number of new instructors that were approved for this year, and I want to issue a welcome to all of you, and welcome to our CU Succeed community. Sadly, not all things went well for the program. It seems this is happening all too often lately, but again this past year, 2 more members of our CU Succeed community passed away. Michael Gore from Fort Collins High School, a teacher of 8 years in the program, and Joshua Nathan, a communication instructor who had taught in the Silver program for 2 years. Both were excellent teachers who left their mark on the lives of many, many students, so they will be missed. Our focus this academic year, as was noted in the letter that I sent to you early in the spring, is going to be on course assessment. As you know, the program is contemplating pursuing accreditation through the National Alliance for Concurrent Enrollment Partnerships, acronym NACEP, within the next 2 years or so. At the same time, the institution itself will be seeking its reaccreditation under the Higher Learning Commission, HLC, in 2021. Both of those commissions require that we demonstrate very clearly that our dual enrollment courses are the same in every respect as the courses taught on campus. And that is with respect to teacher qualifications, that the learning objectives are the same, the rigor is the same, the content is the same, and that we have similar ways or equivalent ways of assessing learning in those courses. So it's going to be necessary for us to, beginning in the spring of 2019, begin the assessment process that we hope to have completed by 2020, which is the year in which the institution will be submitting to HLC its self-study for reaccreditation. So we're asking departments to focus on at least one course, if not a couple, in 2019 to get the process going. That's why a good part of this session or this conference in most departments is going to be centered on the whole process. that will take place in the spring. We're hoping to begin the discussions today, and for those discussions between the two faculties on campus and off campus to continue through the fall term so that the departments can develop the instruments that will be used for the assessment and the rubrics associated with those instruments to conduct the analysis once those assessments have been made. It's a different experience for us on campus because we do assessment, but typically there are assessments that we do to assess the learning for an entire program, a major, for example. And it's an assessment that takes place when the students are about to graduate to determine if, in fact, those students have learned and are able to do the kinds of things that we have said they should be able to do when they graduate with their degree. In this particular case, we're doing it for lower division courses, and we're gonna have to conduct the assessment both off campus and on campus in order for us to compare the results. Now, it's not an assessment like the one that we're normally used to, which is done for the purpose of accountability in many cases. We're expected to conduct these assessments so that we can learn from the assessment what it is we're doing right, what it is that needs to be improved. It's designed to inform the process of continued improvement. So even though we may not be too pleased with the results we get, that's okay, because we're not expected to be perfect, but we are expected to continue to improve the process so that we can get eventually to the point where the majority of students are actually learning what we have said we expect them to learn. So in that respect, it is going to be a little different from the experience that we've had in the past with the assessment process. But you will all play a very important role in the whole process. And that's why we want the dialogue to begin now, so that there is plenty of an opportunity for input from all of you. You will find in your packet a few pages dedicated to what we're calling the See You Succeed orientation, student orientation. I've included an introduction to the 3 activities that we are hoping that you will all conduct during the first week of your classes. And those are that you have students write a short essay, perhaps, in which they provide answers to some questions that we've included, and you may want to add some of your own. These questions are really were developed to enable instructors at the beginning of the course to get some sense for what the skill levels are in their classes of students, the reasons they might have for enrolling in the course, and how they see that experience in that course contributes to whatever plan they've laid out for themselves educationally. The other is a thorough review of the syllabus, the course syllabus. And I'll talk a little bit in a minute about some of the changes we've made to the syllabus template. There are some things that were not included before that we have included now, and that is because of the fact that we encountered some situations in the fall that we had never encountered before, involving some issues that ended up being rather sticky just because of the fact that we weren't addressing or informing students of these things in the syllabus, so we've added those, and I'll point those out to you. The other is for you to have some kind of a discussion or whatever activities you think might be necessary or more effective to begin to talk to students about what the difference is between high school and college. We ran into some issues with some classes in some schools in the fall primarily those taught by some of our own adjuncts that were going into the schools, where they began running into situations where students weren't really aware of what it is they were getting into by signing up for a college course. And these are classes in which all students in the class are registered for CE Denver credit. Those present a little bit more of a challenge than the ones that some of the gold instructors teach. They found that in many cases, these students had no idea of what they were going to be expected to do. And they weren't aware of the fact that there were different rules that applied to college courses being taught by CE Denver than by the high school courses that they were accustomed to. And we know from research that's been done over a long period of time now that we as educators, especially in the high schools, we focus primarily on preparing students academically for college. But we know that there are other factors within the affective domain, attitude, motivation, all of these other kinds of things, and awareness of the environment that these students are going to be entering within a few months, that are actually almost as important as the academic preparation. There's a socialization process that's required for students that they should undergo prior to actually enrolling in campuses. And the fact that this is not done partially explains the high attrition rate on college campuses across the country within the first year, especially on urban campuses like ours. I've been involved in enrollment management for 46 years, my entire career here at the university, and I've never known the first to second year re-enrollment rate going beyond 72%. We lose 30% of our students consistently from one year to the next. These are not students who are not prepared to take on the coursework here. They're very well academically prepared. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been admitted. So they aren't dropping out because they can't handle the coursework. They just never get to the point of becoming integrated into the institution. They come in not knowing what's truly expected of them, and so forth. So we've hoped that we tried this little orientation in some of our classes during the spring, and we got some very, very good feedback from the instructors. They felt that it was very helpful for them to get to know their students better, what their reason was for being in that class, and it also might help you to structure your class in such a way that it is truly a college experience. That's a challenge in our classes because the class is being held and taught in a high school setting. Students are in with their peers, many of whom might not even be taking that class for credit. So we need to make sure that they understand that for that hour or so that they're in that classroom, that is CU Denver. And the best way to prepare these students for what they're about to experience when they go to college is to make the class a college experience. That means CU Denver rules apply. Let them know explicitly what the academic requirements are going to be and how they differ, how they need to begin to prepare in these classes. So that's the reason for this. And I'm sure that some of you already do some of these things. We just want to be a little bit more deliberate in our efforts to begin working with these students and preparing them in ways other than just academic ways. Okay. Now let's, if you can look on your syllabus, the template that we've included in the packet, I'll just point out some of the things that might be a little bit different or new. We'll begin with just the course number and course title.
Dan, you're gonna send this to us electronically, correct?
Yes, I believe, Angela? Yes, we are. It is very, very important for the reasons that I just mentioned, that the syllabus state that that class is a CU Denver course. It should be the CU Denver number and title. And we recognize the fact that there are some students in the class that may not be registered for the credit, but the requirement is that the course needs to be taught as a CU Denver course, regardless of whether those students for college credit. So it's very important that we have that. Plus, we're gonna have to provide examples of these syllabi to both NASEP and HLC. And we don't want to give them a syllabus that says, hey, this course is AP history. That's not gonna fly. So we need to have those syllabi being consistent in that regard. On the second page, the part that speaks to the final grade and the assessment. This might have been included by some of you in some of your syllabi up to now, but it's important that the students know that CU Denver, the grading system is a plus-minus system. That can be very critical. Students need to know that if they get a C-, for example, in the class, then they apply to the University of Colorado institution. They'll be admitted, but they will come in on probation, on academic probation, because you have to have at least a C, 2.0, in order to stay in good academic progress, or continue with good academic progress. The following page, this is also important for us to include, so that students know that whatever grade they get in the course is going to become a permanent part of their university record, University of Colorado record, regardless of what institution they attend. Okay. Under course procedures and the attendance policy, some of your departments may have some attendance policies that they're asking you to follow. I've checked with many different institutions and other departments on our campus and so forth to see if I could come up with some kind of a standard that could be used. And the best I could find out is that it appears that 15% of the classes that a student would not attend seems to be kind of an average. But then again, the attendance policy is strictly up to you, unless it's dictated by your department. You have complete control of that course, just as a professor would on this campus. And that's another thing that students have to get used to. The school may have some very liberal attendance policies, and we run into some of those. Schools in which if a student shows up, even if it's only 5 minutes before the bell rings, they're counted as present. That doesn't fly here. So they need to know that you may have different attendance policies and policies given, regarding late work and makeup tests and so forth, than maybe the school has overall. Okay. The more we can make these courses, CU Denver courses, the better off the students are going to be in the long run, because they will already be able to anticipate what they're getting into when they go to college. And it's been already demonstrated that those students who can self-identify as college students prior to actually enrolling have a far greater chance of persisting through graduation. On page 4, the section dealing with disability access, that in the past we had not really required to be a part of the syllabus. But again, we ran into some situations in the fall term which led us to believe that it was probably going to be necessary to address that. It doesn't come up very often, but again, it's going to be up to you. if the student is assessed at school and there are certain accommodations that have been recommended or have been required in that assessment, you have every right to accept those and grant those accommodations. However, if you have some question about it, you can require or you can ask that the student be assessed at our center here for disability services and await that. More than likely, the assessments will be the same, but it's entirely up to you to accept those accommodations or not, if in that instance. Okay. And I think that just about does it on the syllabus.
Danny?
Yes.
You mentioned the 504 plan. What about an IEP, individualized educational program that a special ed students have?
Again, that would be your call. Okay. It's not the students need to be referred here necessarily. It's always going to be up to you. If you're satisfied with the assessment, and in some cases, at your school, you may not have a choice. Okay. Okay, I think the rest is pretty self-explanatory. Well, I've also included in your packet some things I ran across from Carnegie Mellon University regarding these classroom assessment techniques. I have to admit that when I first started teaching, I wasn't really a firm believer in things like this. In fact, I didn't encounter these and started using them until very late in my teaching career. And it made me regret the fact that I had the attitude I had in the past toward these little tips. But they're just kind of quick ways of periodically assessing the climate in your classes. You get to know your students a little better, get to find out whether or not, your teaching strategies are being effective, if they're reaching all students, etc., just to keep a gauge on the class. And again, I'm sure that you're familiar with these. You probably use some techniques of this sort. But I just thought I'd throw them out there so that, we begin doing some of these things that have been proven to be effective, particularly with some groups of students who are actually a little bit uncomfortable at first when they take the college course. Knowing that the instructor is looking out for their needs, I think helps an awful lot. Okay. Okay, with that, I am going to turn to the presentation of the See You Succeed Service Award. And this year we have two recipients, Mark Little from Broomfield High School and Tina Falconer from Westminster High School. Mark Little actually is not here today. He actually retired at the end of this last academic year, but Mark has agreed to kind of stay in contact with the program and assist the two departments that he's in with some professional development and other kinds of things. And he was delighted that he was nominated for this award and was going to be receiving it. And he would have been here, but he actually is back east doing some kind of an AP Institute. He's very, very involved in that kind of work. But Mark is I have one bad eye, so I need to switch here. Mark is a longtime instructor and member of the Geography and Environmental Sciences and Biology departments at CU Denver. He has brought to the program substantial expertise gained through advanced placement training and courses, as well as his years of experience as a reader of the AP Biology exam. In his years at Broomfield High School, Mark was a mentor to his fellow faculty, who held him in high regard for his innovative instructional approaches and his incorporation of cutting-edge lab experiments such as DNA extraction and bacterial transformations. Mark worked diligently to teach his students using the latest in teaching techniques and technology. His outstanding teaching and strong dedication to high school science earned him the Colorado Outstanding Biology Teacher of the Year award. Mark has become widely known in the state and the country for his publications through the Woodrow Wilson Biology Institute and his frequent presentations at the National Association of Biology Teachers Conference. Okay. At this point, I'll call on Laurel Dodds, who representing the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences here today, to present the award after I've read the citation. Tina is a teacher at Westminster High School and has been a CU Succeed lecturer in the Department of Biology for an impressive 17 years. She is described as an exceptional teacher who cares about her students and works hard to prepare them for college and life. Through her strong dedication to the AVID program, she is able to provide her students a pathway to success. Tina has distinguished herself both as a biology teacher and for her recognized work and developments in curriculum design and assessment. She is the recipient of several grants, including a Fulbright Study Abroad grant in Germany to compare the German and American high school systems. She was also the co-principal investigator of a $1.7 million NSF grant through the Colorado School of Mines that focused on creating problem-centered interdisciplinary learning environments. Tina was a standards-based classroom model teacher for 2008 to 2010. Her numerous educational accomplishments earned her the Jared Paulus Excellence in Teaching Award. Dr. David Nacho, the CU Denver Biology Liaison, had this to say about Tina's biology class. I have visited Tina's course over the years, and it is one of the most effective and challenging that I've seen among biology instructors. The depth and rigor easily meets and frequently exceeds that of the on-campus courses. Tina truly holds the bar high for her students. She is a shining light in our program. Tina, in recognition of your excellence in teaching and your numerous years of continuous support and service to the CU Succeed program and CU Denver, I am pleased to present to you the CU Succeed Service Award for 2018. I'm now going to turn the program over to Laurel Dodds, who has some little tidbits to hand out, I think, to some of our teachers who have been graciously taking courses here to continue their teaching in the program.
I would like to say that those of you who've been teaching with CU Succeed for many years are going to remember that back in 2015, the Higher Learning Commission suddenly changed its hiring criteria for people who could teach at the undergraduate level. And at that time, we had to conduct a total review of all of our CU Succeed teachers. And the departments determined those teachers that had either a graduate degree, master's or above, in the content area that they were teaching for CU Succeed, or at minimum, a graduate degree in some other area, plus 18 graduate credit hours in the content area in which they're teaching. Now this meant, after those reviews by the departments, that we had very many teachers who did not meet that new criteria. Unfortunately, we communicated with everyone, and luckily for CU Succeed, and we are very grateful for this, most of the teachers that had been identified as needing some graduate credits actually have agreed to commit to taking those credits. We so appreciate this extra step on the behalf of the teachers who have, within the last 2 years, taken graduate credits, that we have a small gift of appreciation. I'd like Kristen Kang to come up. We have been communicating with you for those teachers who were able to come to the campus and participate in CU Denver graduate courses. We have offered scholarships for those who were able to come here. And I'm going to read from a list of those teachers who have made this level of commitment. And if you would come up before you go to have lunch and accept this small token of our appreciation. So we'll start with communication. It's Sonnen Dahl and Tara Henderson. In English, Joshua Brandt, Brian Budenhagen, Carlin Carroll, Maria Clinton, Carly Holliday, Elizabeth Coop, Sona Loomis, Stephen Schreiner, Catherine Sharp-Moore, Rhonda Spradling, Brett Weller, and Sarah Woodard. Now please do come up now. We have the gift here so that Kristen can give this to you. And then you may go across the hall and begin to get your lunch. In geography and environmental science, it's Adam Francis and David Hoffmaster. In history, John Battersby, Bob Howard, and Maria Andreas. In mathematics, Greg Dahlberg, Aaron Frederick, Perry Gridley, Chelsea Grease, Jocelyn Hatfield, Mary Holfer-Brosh, Cheryl Ingham, Trish James, Sonia Kashawa, Heather Colleen, Matt Kuzmich, Craig Lucason, Matt Moore, Sean Palmer, Adam Polinsky, Michelle Siaka, Janet Kalani, Derek Widmeyer, Ben or Earl Wolf, and Haleh Zarini. In modern languages, Laura Van Rokel. In physics, Wanda Collette. And in sociology, Matthew Helton and Jamie Reveal. Thank you to all of you. We appreciate your support for CU Succeed.